You've probably heard the call, and the call is to simplify. I say you've probably heard the call because I'm not the only one championing the art of simplification. Simplification in our business, simplification in our marketing, simplification in our funnels. I've written a new book, and the book is called Simplify the Funnel. You can get your copy at simplifythefunnel.com. But I really want to help you to understand why many of the top entrepreneurs, many people are saying and voicing this word simplify more than anything else today. We don't need the all-encompassing, massive, long-form funnels and hundreds of emails anymore. When it comes to the art of simplification, we actually need far less than we actually realize. Actually, marketing and sales, if you're a business owner, is really about four things. My name is Hodges, and I've been a marketing geek for the best part of maybe 2.5 decades. I've also been behind the coalface running agencies for probably the best part of 18 years. And in that time, I've worked with many business owners who want to market, grow, and scale their businesses. Often we will get caught up in a trap as the entrepreneur of always looking for better ways to do the things we're not so good at. And what I mean by that is we often go into business because we're experts, or we are knowledge-based experts in a particular field, or we're passionate about doing something, or we're talented about doing something. Now, those talents and those expertise, unless we're becoming a marketing consultant or we're starting a marketing agency, will often not be marketing and sales. We might be an expert at making something, or an expert at helping somebody to overcome a particular challenge in their life. But when it comes to marketing and sales, as a business owner, we know that we need to do more. We need to learn more. We need to do things better. So we need to buy into training, and we need to have, some guru sell us a system to help us build out the most complex funnel in the world that they've been able to grow a $10 million or $25 million business. This is the challenge that is set before us. How do we discern whether that high ticket program that we're going to buy into, that's going to give us some kind of blueprint for our business, is actually worth it or not? When it comes to the art of simplification, we actually need far less than we actually realize. And what the COVID pandemic and the COVID-19 pandemic and lockdowns all taught us as business owners is that we need to get online more. We need to do more online to connect with our audiences. Offline businesses like consultancies and trainers weren't able to do their in-person events or go and offer in-person consultancy with the companies that they were working with anymore, so that they had to switch. A lot of entrepreneurs had to try and kind of reinvent themselves and, to a degree, pivot. Some completely pivoting away from their target audience towards another target audience. But the ones that actually did extremely well through this, they didn't change target audience completely. All they did is they realized that they needed to serve their audience in a different way. And that meant jumping onto different social platforms. Even, I don't know if you remember it, Clubhouse taking the stage, almost center stage at the start of the pandemics, where everybody was jumping onto this audio-based social platform. And where is it today? I think it's still around, but who's using it? My thing is that actually marketing and sales, if you're a business owner, is really about four things. It's about, number one, showing up, being visible, and getting attention. That is our prime objective. That should be why we do our marketing, to show up, be visible, and get noticed, to get attention. When we have the right kind of messaging, when we have the right kind of content, then it will pique interest. And that's the second thing. We're going to pique people's interest, and they're going to keep watching. They're going to look out for more of our stuff. That in turn is going to fuel a desire for change, or a desire in them that actually I want to be able to achieve that, or I know that this person is going to be able to help me. And then fourth, we need them to take action. And I've put the letters on screen because hopefully, if you've done any kind of marketing training, you'll have spotted what this says. This AIDA framework was created by a guy called St. Elmo Lewis in 1898. It was a framework that he created in the advertising world that actually has stood the test of time. But what we've done as technology has crept up on us in the business world is we've overcomplicated things. We've added in all kinds of, well, if they don't do that, then we'll do this. If they don't do that, then let's do this. And we end up with an absolute mess. More often than not, when people are just starting out and they're trying to get into this kind of online business world, they think they need to build all of that out in one go. And that's the challenge. You don't. I remember through agency life, the whole notion that a client could come towards us as an agency and say, I've just bought this high ticket program from this guru. I want you to implement everything for me and I want you to get it all set up. It was overcomplicated more often than not. There was just too much in there. And helping the client to kind of realize that sometimes worked. Sometimes it didn't, because they bought it and they invested it. So they pushed the button and actually said, no. I want you to implement everything. I've bought it. I want to test it. So sometimes those implementation programs took a couple of months to actually execute. The whole entire suite, the whole entire launch process, the whole entire funnel system, landing pages, hundreds of emails, everything. And it was a big time investment and it was a big monetary investment. How many of them worked out of the gates? Less than 10%. Because what they were doing as our customers is saying, well, I've seen this guy and he's a multi-millionaire and he's just done this multi-10, 20, $30 million launch and he's given me his blueprint and I want to apply it to my business. What gets you from 0 to 6 figures won't get you from 6 figures to 7 figures, and what gets you from there will not get you to 8 figures and 9 figures. Different stages of business require different things. And fundamentally, a big amorphous funnel could be something that you build and you scale from the most simple funnel in the world. A funnel that allows you to get attention, pique interest, drive desire, and have them take action. AIDA is a framework that we all need to think about. We need to simplify. We need to simplify back to. So I've created something called my minimum viable funnel that I talk about inside my book, which you can get at simplifythefunnel.com. The minimum viable funnel really says that the free line has moved away from our website. Our public content now acts as our lead magnet, so that we build an audience, that we build the trust, and we build the credibility in an industry that PDFs and lead magnets used to do. Do you realize that in the internet marketing world, when PDF lead magnets were created, we didn't actually have platforms like Facebook and YouTube and Instagram and TikTok and LinkedIn to post video to? We didn't have them when they started. So the premise of the lead magnet was from a Google ad, because that's kind of all we had at the time, drive people to a landing page to get them to opt in for a PDF and have your emails tell people how much of an expert you are. The times have changed. We now have broadcast quality equipment at our fingertips in terms of cameras, webcams, phones, and we can go live, we can pre-record and we can publish. And we can put out all of our content onto these platforms to do the job that the lead magnets used to do. Now, there is a place to have something on your website for free for people to get on your email and on your ecosystem. But the most successful funnels, the most successful minimum viable funnel that you could set up includes not a freebie at the top end of the funnel on your website. but a low-cost product. Maybe a paid-for workshop instead of a webinar. Maybe it's a mini course or a training bundle. Something along those kind of lines. That people will be able to get access to, instant access, once they've seen enough of your content out in the public domain and they believe enough from what you say, and then they go and buy it. Or you could write a book, which could be the top end of your funnel. Don't do the whole free book plus shipping. Sell your book. Because if people have got enough value from your public content and trust you enough, they will start to buy from you. Once they've made that purchasing decision for the low-cost offer, you then need to have a conversion event of some kind that will enable them to be able to progress to your main core offer. And it's about connecting with them on a human level. It's about maybe offering a call or a live interactive kind of workshop or something along those kind of lines where they can actually interact with you and you can have conversation. Don't rely on AI. Don't rely on automation to do this. We're not in a world of business to business and business to consumer anymore. We're in the world of human to human connection. People are crying out for connection. Provide that within your funnel and you'll see things blow up. So the minimum viable funnel is something I talk about in my book. I also talk about seed marketing, which is the art of really positioning yourself as an expert out there in the public domain, sharing your knowledge, educating people about your frameworks. But I also cover my selling without selling strategies. If you go over to simplifythefunnel.com, grab a copy of my book, you won't be disappointed. I'll also tell you where you can get access to additional resources that support the book and help you to implement some of those things. But my big thing, above all, simplify. We don't need the all-encompassing, massive, long-form funnels and hundreds of emails anymore. Your customers have challenges. Show up and serve in the public domain, and then invite them into your world. Join me on the Simplify movement. Go over to simplifythefunnel.com, grab a copy of my book, and hopefully we'll speak again very soon. Bye for now.